Hi everyone, welcome to another lunation video. My name is JC of the Mindful Awakening, and I am hoping that these messages find you at the most perfect time as we all work together to uncover and discover all of the energies that are present for this full moon lunar eclipse in Sagittarius, which is happening today, May the 26th. If you see me looking down, it's because I have a lot of notes and I want to make sure that I cover everything that I want to say. Sometimes I will look back at some old footage and realize there's so much that I missed that I could have said, and I definitely don't want to miss out on this opportunity to share with you all about what's actually been going on. So I know that today's lunar eclipse may feel like a very isolated incident. It may feel like a very special, isolated, one-off time, and it is. And it's actually also connected to energy that's been kind of around us and affecting us over this past year. And this started actually about a year ago on June 5th, 2020, when the energies did start shifting. That also included a lunar eclipse that happened in Gemini on November 30th, 2020, and a solar eclipse that happened back in December 14th, 2020, all leading up to the new year 2021. Now, if we travel back to those months of June last year, November last year, December last year, think about what was happening to you during those times. And recognize that about a year later, a lot of those same themes are still continuing to come up now. I just realized I didn't even do my cheers. I do have a drink with me. I'm not drinking wine tonight. I felt like I just needed a different type of drink. So I'm actually drinking a gin and tonic. So cheers. So there are actually a few overarching themes that showed up back in June, showed up in November, showed up in December, and are now showing up yet again. As the universe likes to do, things never happen as one-off situations. Things always happen in groups, in pairs, over long stretches and periods of time where similar patterns will show up, similar circumstances will show up, as a way to test how far we've come along in our own spiritual journey, which is a journey and not a destination. And so some overarching themes of this series of eclipses have to do with soaking up knowledge, have to do with learning new things, with challenging old belief systems, core belief systems, that have to do with sharing information, that have to do with our relationship with our mind, with our relationship with the way we think, the way we speak, not just how we speak to others and what we say about others and circumstances, but more importantly, how we speak about ourselves, what we think about ourselves. And over this past year, if you take the time to travel back to those dates, really sit and reflect on how much has shifted and transformed. Think about all the things that have left your life, and for some maybe have come back, but in a different transformed way. When you shift the foundations of who you think you are, of the experience that you have of yourself, there is a shift that happens then in your way of being. And if there's a shift in your foundation which affects your way of being altered will also shift the way you experience all of the circumstances in your life. Pause, rewind, replay. Yeah, it's this whole concept that the core of who you are has been shaken, not just today on this lunar eclipse, but for about a whole year now. For about a whole year now, who you think you are, who you think you need to be, your cultural expectations, your gender expectations, dreams, ideas, belief systems that you told yourself you needed to uphold. All of these things have slowly shifted, and you may have felt a push and pull energy over this past year. So naturally, if your foundation has changed, that means then that the way you act in this 3D space of the planet has also changed. And if your actions have changed, so too has your perspective. And so your experience of your life is probably no longer the same right now versus the way that it was last year. And now we're always shifting, we're always changing, experiences are always influencing us, but this is different because it's to the core of you. It's parts of you that you've been struggling to deal with, parts of you that you're holding on to and letting go of simultaneously. You peel a finger off the thing one by one, but as soon as you peel one finger off and you're on to the next one, the last one is back on it again. And it's been this constant shift, this push and pull of, should I stay at my workplace or should I quit my job? It's, what is my family dynamic like? Am I still having the same arguments with my parents? Do I still feel like a failure? How do my siblings view me? Am I still challenging my cultural norms? What cultural norms do I need to continue to uphold? What do my friendships look like? What standards have I set for them and for myself in this dynamic that are actually unrealistic? What friendships have I outgrown? Who am I leaving behind? In love relationships, am I holding on to the idea of love, or am I actually in love? Do I even want love? Do I even want to be in this relationship anymore? Am I struggling to let go because I'm afraid of being alone? Am I listening to what my partner is telling me? Am I happy? What does it mean to be happy? What is love? Maybe if I just do these things, then I can say I'm in love. Or I can't do XYZ because I'm not in love yet. As if love was a destination and not a way of being. I can't start this business because I don't have enough money yet and I don't know what I'm doing. This idea that we cannot make movements in our life until we know exactly what we are doing, until we have every single detail planned out, when really that is your mind playing tricks on you and making you feel like you are ill-prepared, when really there is no such thing as being prepared. You can try all you want to come up with every single plan, and I promise you it will never work out exactly the way that you intended for it to, because that's not the way life works. That's not the way we learn our lessons. That's not what gives us strength. That's not what teaches us courage. It's not what teaches us how to love. Plans can only take you so far. The divine, trust, faith, that takes you further. That's actually what helps to level you up. And so we are feeling this shift. We're feeling ourselves being shaken at our foundations once again, differently in this particular full moon than the previous full moons that we've experienced in the year 2021 because of this eclipse energy. Now, eclipse season is funny because the moment you hear that, you're already thinking fear, sadness, anger, anxiety, worry, stress. Oh, hell no. All these things that we feel we need to somehow prepare for, as if more plans will help us go through this energy in an easier way. Like somehow we can brace ourselves and be ready. There's an idea of like eclipse season being a moment where we have to relive our trauma, where we are out of control, where things are out of our control, where things don't make sense, where we're confused, where we want the answers, where we want to know where we're going. And a lot of it doesn't make any sense at all. Like you can't even pinpoint your own feelings of things. And all of this is totally normal. In addition to eclipse season being that way, paired with a full moon, where full moons are already about releasing and allowing what no longer aligns with you and what doesn't serve you to naturally fall away, you pair the two together. And yes, it is definitely an intense energy. And I'm not dismissing that this is very jarring for a lot of people, myself included. However, there is something to be said about looking at things from a different perspective. Now, let's just go over quickly before I forget, I guess, the astrology of it all. So we have the moon that is 5 degrees in Sagittarius. We also have the sun that is also 5 degrees in Gemini, and that's what's creating the eclipse. And the reason why it's called a blood moon is because the earth is between both. And so there's a reflection of light and shadow that creates this like red effect on the moon, because the sun is on one side, the moon is on the other side, the earth is in the middle, and they're all eclipsing one another. So just to get that into this video before I start talking and I forget that I didn't even give you guys the degrees. So in addition to the sun in Gem, 5 degrees, the moon in Sag, 5 degrees, the North Node has also been in Gemini for about an entire year now. The South Node has been in Sagittarius also for about an entire year now. We are also in Gemini season for the next month. So there's a lot that's going on. And in terms of numerology, 5 degrees, the number 5 is conflict, it's change, it's uncomfortable feelings, it's the potential of agitation, irritability, triggers, trauma. Like it's a tough energy. 5 is also about change, transformation. And so when you take into account all of those things that are happening, in addition to the fact that there is an opposition taking place between the sun and the moon, between Sag and Gem, this entire axis is all about our thoughts and the power of our mind. Gemini season is all about communication, the power of our thoughts and our mind into the way that we communicate, because words are so powerful. And so if we combine everything together, our mind is being tested right now. How do we think about things? How do we look at things? Where is it that our mind creates illusions to what is actually so in our life? Where is it that we've deluded ourselves? Where are we living in the delusion and the illusion versus the ways that we can look at our reality based on a different perspective, instead of it being so fear-based and trauma-based, so scary and dark? Gemini season really encourages us to remember that we have both a shadow side and a light side. Dark and light, we encompass both. And we cannot appreciate the light energy, more positive experiences without the darkness within. And there's a lot of talk about how gems are two-sided, both perspectives, and okay, sure. And that's not just Geminis, that's human beings in general. We all have so many multifaceted sides, but the beauty about the Gemini sign and this season is that we really embody both simultaneously. We work at accepting both simultaneously, and a lot of that energy is of this eclipse energy right now, is in this acceptance of both. The fears we may have, but understanding that those fears are actually the illusion. That is the illusion. The fear doesn't exist. There are impacts, absolutely, to whatever circumstance you may be dealing with in life. There are very real impacts for sure. But the fear that may be holding you back from making any choices, any big choices in your life, is actually all in your mind. And your mind stops us from doing things sometimes, even though in our gut, in our intuition, our higher self is already calling us forward to do the thing that we fear the most, and yet we allow the fear to win. And we start creating stories to justify the fears that exist without even acknowledging that it is actually fear talking. It's your old self talking. It's your trauma talking. It's your child self that's talking, that's actually asking you to console it, to heal it, to transmute that energy, and to look at things from a different perspective. So with our minds being challenged, with our minds being the target of this eclipse season, it is so important to ground your mind, ground your spirit, and recognize that if you can deal with up here, your mind, will help you to speak your experience of life, speak your reality out in such a way that promotes growth, that promotes the possibility. Because on the other side of anxiety, fear, endings, pain, heartbreak, lost jobs, broken family relationships, broken marriages, broken relationships, friendships ending, all of these terrible things that we really try hard to avoid. On the other side of those things is actually gratitude. Thank you, universe, for giving me that lesson. I didn't even know that I needed it. It was heartbreak, but it was actually a lesson in boundary setting, in self-advocacy, in knowing my limits. It's actually wonder, daydreaming, fun, playfulness, exploration. It's possibilities. And so with every ending, there is always an opportunity for rebirth. And that's where the beauty is. And for myself, that is actually where I am choosing to place my full moon, lunar eclipse intentions, is in the possibility of it all, not in the dramatic, angry, sad, disappointed, heartbroken, despair-filled darkness. And I accept that those things can be how I feel about them. I accept that these things are areas that I need to learn to console, that we need to learn to console and heal. And that doesn't have to be the lens in which we view our life. Because it doesn't have to be about blowing your life up and starting from ground zero. For some, maybe that is what it is. And if you are starting from ground zero, you can actually mourn the loss of the thing you have to let go and celebrate the possibilities and this endless unknown in front of you. You can do both simultaneously. And so most readers, most tarot card readers, most astrologers may be pointing towards the doom and gloom of it all. And I am not rejecting that part at all. It is also very doom and gloom and scary. And I encourage you all to also recognize the beauty that lies within an ending, which is the beautiful unknown. And that the unknown doesn't have to be a scary place. It can actually be a beautiful, wondrous place of excitement and possibility. And they can both exist simultaneously. You don't have to pick one over the other. You can do both. You can experience both. You can have both. And so I do just want to say as well that you'll probably feel this most if you have any planets in the sign of Sagittarius, or if you are a Gemini, you'll probably feel this as well, because again, Sun and Moon, Sagittarius, Gem, North Node, South Node, Gem, and Sagittarius. It's all of that energy. If you're also a mutable sign, so if you are a Gem, mutable air, if you are Virgo, mutable earth, or if you are a Pisces, that's mutable water, you will also probably feel this more than the other signs as well. And you'll probably also be encouraged to reflect again on the closest bonds that you have in your life, your sense of security, your family roots. For Virgos, this is in your 4th house, which is your home life. For Pisces, this is in your 10th house, so your house of career. And then for Gems, this is all about partnership, which is your 7th house. Not saying that it doesn't affect other signs, it definitely does, but for mutable signs especially, this is going to be, you're really going to feel this. And it's something to embrace, not something to dread. This is a beautiful time of transformation. And at the end of the day, we are about halfway through the year now. Once we hit June, we are 6 months in, 6 months left if we're going by the Western calendar. I'm just seeing all the symbols and everything, right? Because again, Gemini season duality, June, halfway through the year, there you go. You have the duality again, 5, the number 5 of 5 degrees in Sag, 5 degrees in Gem with the sun and the moon, 5 times 2. You put 2 5s together, you got 10. 10 is completion. 10 is completion. And when you break it down, 10 is actually 1. 1 is also the Fool card in the tarot, which means new beginning, excitement. Are you guys seeing where I'm going with all this? It's just wild to me that we are in this beautiful energy. The synchronicities are so real. This is not a coincidence. It is not a coincidence that it's happening right now. Not at all. And so I encourage you all to really go inward and tap in to what's there for you. It's not about what other people aren't doing. Oh, that I'm so mad at this person because they didn't do this, this, and that. Oh, I hate my job so much because my boss is like this, this, and that. Oh, why can't I just get my shit together because I said that I was going to do this, 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 and that. Okay. Okay. And what are we going to do now? We can identify those things. We can recognize the things that aren't working. And now what? We can stay in a space of complaining, of anger, of resentment, of draining life force energy. It's literally draining you all of your light energy. Or you can say those things and accept those things and speak yourself into a new reality of, I'm so thankful my boss has been unreasonable with me because it's teaching me that I need to start my own business. Thank you so much, God. Thank you, universe. I'm so thankful that my family member has been driving me crazy because I'm really learning I need to be more patient. I gotta learn how to be more patient. I gotta learn how to accept people as they are. I gotta learn how to love from a distance. I need to learn some boundary setting. Thank you, universe, for teaching me this lesson. Thank you for choosing my annoying family member to illuminate this about myself. Thank you, universe, for giving me an unreasonable partner. Thank you for giving me a partner who makes me feel like I am not worthy. Thank you, because it's now teaching me that I need to learn how to tell my partner what my needs are. That maybe it's my partner does care about me, but I haven't shown them my vulnerable self. I haven't told them how I would like to be loved. I haven't shown them what that means to me. I've just been quiet. I've been internalizing these things. I've been keeping a checklist of all the things they do wrong. Thank you, universe, for showing me that I can look at things from a different perspective and from a new lens. I can still be upset that they said what they said, and I can also recognize that there must be something within me as well that can help me to see this from a different way. And that's embracing your situation as it is, and also embracing the possibility of what you now can build now that you have acknowledged where you are, rather than just sitting in your pile of doo-doo. Now it's all about, okay, what can I build from this pile of doo-doo? Cheers. Let's cheers to that. At the end of the day, you can't control other people. Sometimes you can't even control your circumstance, but you can control yourself. You can control your mind. You can control your words. You can control how you heal. You only have yourself. You only have yourself. So, that being said, as much as this is a blood moon, as much as this is a flower moon, as much as this is a super full moon, as much as this is a total lunar eclipse, as much as we're having a solar eclipse happening in a few weeks in Gemini, and the 3 planets going retrograde, Mercury included, and all of our words are going to be out of whack. Yeah, we can definitely buckle up and put on a seatbelt and get anxious and worried and scared and dread every single moment of our life, or we can experience freedom in knowing that what is for us will always be for us, that there's learning lessons in everything that falls apart. There's beautiful new beginnings to every ending. There's a way to rebuild relationships that seem broken. It's time to embrace the beautiful part of the unknown and to harness this incredible energy of the Fool card, of renewal, of true transformation. And transformation not of the exterior, but the transformation that happens from accepting all parts of yourself from within. It's time to ease up here so that we speak from a more authentic place. And when we speak from a more authentic place, we then begin to attract all the things that are meant for us as all the other things naturally fall away. So, all right, that said, it is now time for us to do our tarot card reading. I have chosen a crystal for us all. Today, I have decided to pull out one crystal. We are not going to be doing a pick a pile reading. We're just going to be doing one. And this is a yin yang jade. You guys, I had to pick something that had 2 tones, because come on, I'm talking about duality. This whole video was about duality. So I definitely felt like this yin yang jade was the perfect choice. Look at this beauty. So the top half is a dark green jade. The bottom half is white jade. And together, this is a yin yang because of the two. So the green is said to create strong, calm, peace, and harmony, banishing negative energies and assisting you with your dreams. Whereas the white is understood as the most calming of colors and may also be used for grounding and also helping you to make more prudent decisions. So if you're having a hard time deciding on something in life right now, having a crystal like this would be very beneficial. So I know you guys probably don't, and this is what I will be using in my meditation tonight, and I will be keeping you all in my intention. So if you are interested, this is a yin yang jade. All right, so we are going to do a tarot card spread using the Light Seers tarot deck, the usual. Okay, and then we are also going to be pulling from the Chakra Oracle Wisdom cards. And instead of using my Moonology deck, I have decided to pull from my Lemuria deck that came in my April Goddess Provisions box. I've been really loving those cards, and the energies every time I pull from there always end up resonating very deeply. So that's what we're going to be doing. Can we get one card for our general collective energy for this full moon? Oh my goodness. We have the Six of Swords. We are being pulled away. What did I say? Pulled away from the things that no longer serve us. With the Six of Swords, you could be dealing with a fellow air sign, an Aquarius, a Gemini, or Libra. As an energy, this is an energy of leaving something behind, but not necessarily leaving something behind just sporadically out of nowhere. This has been a long time coming, and as I mentioned in my video already, think back to June 5th, 2020. Think back to November 30th, 2020. Think back to December 14th, 2020. Huge moments in our previous year in the Western lunar calendar. And then think about what you're going through right now. I promise you, if you are leaving a situation behind, you're ending something, you're breaking up with somebody, you're quitting something, you didn't just think of this today. This is you being pulled away maybe for better opportunities, maybe through the help and assistance of a friend. Maybe someone has said something to you that has made you see things from a different point of view. There's another opportunity elsewhere that's more fruitful. You're leaving something behind with help. As you can see here, the birds are pulling the boat. They're pulling the boat forward. This also shows me that it's not easy for you to leave. And if it's not a circumstance, it could also be an old way of being, old thought patterns. It's not easy for you to change maybe your own imposter syndrome. It's not easy for you to say yes to things. It's not easy for you to be vulnerable. It's not easy for you to open up, but you're really trying to kick those habits. It's not easy for you to keep eating healthy. It hasn't been easy for you to say no. It hasn't been easy for you to say yes. Like, things are shifting, and it has not been easy. All right, so we do have very interesting cards. We have impartiality. We have perception, and we also have prayer. I think for a lot of people with perception, something did not turn out for you the way that you thought it would. Something looked incredible, and then you decided to say yes to that opportunity, and through time and experience, you realize this just isn't it. This job wasn't all that it was cut out to be. This relationship wasn't all that it was cut out to be. Maybe on the outside, like outside appearances seem great. People look at you and it looks like you have it all. but on the inside, it's really quite the opposite circumstance that you're dealing with right now. Maybe you look like you have it all together, but you don't. And here with the impartiality card, there's a balance that is trying to manifest itself in your life. If you've been giving too much in a relationship, it could be that the big lesson for you during eclipse season is learning how to put up some boundaries, is learning how to say no, is learning how to advocate for yourself. It could be a work-life balance. Where have you become a workaholic? Where has work taken over your whole life? And the bigger question is, why has that happened? Are you avoiding something? Are you avoiding something at home? Are you avoiding other responsibilities? Are you avoiding conflicts that you think are going to happen at home? Do you think maybe you don't deserve to rest? You don't deserve to relax and play? Maybe there's a fear there that if you stop working so hard, you may lose it all. Maybe it's this illusion that you need to maintain outside appearances and seem like you're working really hard at work in order to get a promotion. Maybe you're afraid of looking bad at work, and so you're allowing work to take over. However which way it resonates with you, whether it's a financial thing, a work thing, it could also be like a status thing. On the outside, people think you have tons of money, but on the inside, you're actually in debt. Where is it that you've kind of allowed your finances to go bananas? And where do you need to find a balance in all of these aspects in life again? It could be if this is like a diet thing or a body image thing. People look at you and they think you're so happy, you're so healthy, you've come such a long way. But in reality, it's like, you're binge eating at nighttime and you're feeling guilty about it afterwards. Where is the balance? Where's the balance? And where is it that you're allowing other people to perceive you as one way when really something else is going on and you're actually being very inauthentic about what's happening? With the prayer card here, all hope is not lost. Your prayers are now being answered. It's about looking at things from a different perspective. And even, it's like what I was saying, even if things look as though they're falling apart, it's one thing to think, what the hell? Why is this happening to me? And just sitting in that zone of being the victim of your circumstances, versus when life gives you lemons, you make lemonade. Okay, when we pray, when we ask for things, it doesn't always show up the way we imagine it will. We pray for a relationship. Well, you know what? It might show up in the most unlikely of places and in the most unlikely of people. When we pray for more money, well, you know what? The money is not just going to grow from a tree, but God, the universe, might be pushing you in a direction to say yes to a random opportunity because that's how He is going to bless you with money. It could be, having a hard time healing some family relationships. Well, maybe if you're praying for peace in your family, it might show up in an argument as an opportunity, as an answer to your prayer, so that you could be the one to change that narrative, so you could be the one to choose something different and have your prayer answered. It doesn't always show up the way that you think it will. And if we cling so hard to this perception of what it has to be, of what it needs to be, we're never going to feel the healing. We're never going to find the balance. We're never going to truly leave a situation behind so that we have an opportunity for more possibilities. So many possibilities, we can't even begin to imagine them. And so 2 cards did fall out, and I'm going to read them both. Interesting that we have earth and we have air, which is kind of like what I've been saying. It's in grounding the mind, which is a very earthly thing to do, right? Earth signs are so grounded. I wish sometimes I was an earth sign or I had more placements in earth, just because I do feel like sometimes I could be all over the place and scattered in my thoughts being an air sign. So I love it. And I think it's beautiful that we pulled a card that has to do with earth and a card that has to do with our ideas. So the strength in grounding our mind, our ideas and communication in air, fitting that we are in Gemini season, fitting that with grounding and with ideas, the mind and communication, these are the things that have shown up through this opposition and the north and south node of Sagittarius and Gemini. So we'll start off with Earth. Nurture nature. No one can hold you the way that nature can. Mama Nature is a powerful healer and transmuter of dense energies. She takes in your out breath and can transform your woes if you can allow yourself to surrender, to lie in her grassy arms, or to be embraced by her branches. All experiences, those categorized as good or bad, are part of the natural cycle that allows for the continuation of life. Trying to suppress or control will only bring you out of harmony. Nature is all around you. Notice her. When you feel like no one else can help you or hold you, she can. Beautiful reminder. And Air, paradigm shift. This is a time of tremendous change, and the speed of our evolution is increasing exponentially. We can build energetic sovereignty and inspire others, connect dots, and receive and share the knowledge and tools needed for transformation. As we wake up, we can't help but awaken those around us. I just posted about this today. Oh my goodness, wow. It may start with an inquiry on what this fresh, new, and long-awaited breath in is all about. Air, paradigm shift. This is a time of tremendous change, and the speed of our evolution is increasing exponentially. We can build energetic sovereignty, inspire others, connect dots, and receive and share the knowledge and tools needed for transformation. As we wake up, we can't help but awaken those around us. It may start with an inquiry on what this fresh, new, and long-awaited breath in is all about. An expansive being holds a tiny heart-shaped seedling. When the foundations we build on come from a place of love over fear, we will see a huge positive change in the world. We can start with ourselves. Isn't that what I just said this entire reading? Love, possibilities, abundance, daydreaming, exploration, over fear, over dread, over doom, over gloom, over anxiety, over anger. And there's a way to accept that we feel both. It doesn't have to end at the negative feelings, which sometimes eclipse season can really do. And when that's the case, it can paralyze us in life. And I encourage you all to console that part of you that feels those shadow things that drains you of your energy, and to recognize that you also have the ability to ground here, to speak a new life into existence, and to remember the light side of you too. You too have a lighter energy, and that on one hand, an ending, sadness, despair, anger, fear, all the negative things is actually an opportunity. That's the possibility in and of itself. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for sticking with me through this conversation. I'm bringing up my glass. Cheers again. I love creating these videos for you all. I love being able to sit down and just be myself in front of the camera and to share with you the things that are of interest to me. And when I see the patterns, I see the numbers, I see the synchronicities, I just get so lit up because I know that the universe really is working for us. And it's time for all of us collectively to connect our energy together so that when this transit happens, when this lunation period passes through, that we can all recognize that we are in connection with each other, and we have an opportunity not just to work on ourselves and our own personal lives, but that by doing this, we actually help to elevate the entire collective. So it is my honor and my privilege to sit here and be the conduit that's used for these messages for all of you, whoever is watching this right now. I appreciate all of your love, your support, and especially your time. I appreciate the time you spend watching these videos and just listening to me have a chat with you. I will be thinking of you all tonight in my own meditations, and I'm wishing you all such a powerful, transformative, and loving full moon in Sagittarius. Harness that lunar eclipse energy, and I will catch you guys in my next video. Mwah! Bye!